Hi, I'm Diamond,
And I'm Shanae.
and today we get to share a little bit about how we met each other,
Yeah,
which is always exciting.
yeah. I would say how the Holy Spirit led us together
Yeah,
because He really orchestrated it all.
yeah, I agree.
So I guess I should start off because I think He started dealing with me first. Well, not I think, I mean, we know that's how it started. So I guess I guess I'll just kind of share the things that led up to or starting to deal with me. So in 2019, my oldest son came to me and said that he was leaving. He was dropping out of college and he was leaving to go to Wisconsin because he had gotten into a welding school and he wanted to be a welder, not an electrical engineer, which is what he was going to school for. And that he was leaving in 2 weeks. And that was difficult for me because it had been me and him since I was 17. I had never been without him. So he leaves. That was October of 2019. Then you fast forward. So when that happened, it was pain. Um, and I just kind of stuffed it because that's what I was used to doing, not really allowing myself to feel. And so I just kind of pushed it in the back of my mind, stuffed it down. He's going, to do something that he's interested in doing, and I can't stop him. I just need to support him. And I just kind of pushed my own feelings to the back. Then 2020 comes around and the pandemic happens and everything stopped. And when everything stopped, I didn't have any more distractions to keep me from facing all the things that I had stuffed down inside of me that I didn't want to deal with. And so I'm working from home. It's just me and my youngest son. He had just turned 7 at that time. And I can't go to the gym. I'm not doing, that anymore. I'm not, doing my board meetings. Gymnastics for him had stopped. Dance had stopped. Everything had stopped. We were literally just home. It was him and I. And I would say that's really when something started happening to me. I became aware that I didn't have love. I became aware that I was empty and I didn't really have anything. All I had was my kids. But then with my oldest son leaving just a few months prior, I realized that I really didn't have them either because they're going to grow up one day and go their own way.
Yeah,
And so that's happening to me and all my emotions and stuff. I don't have anything to distract me from myself. So it's all just kind of trying to rise. And I'm like, okay, I got to do something. Like, I'm not knowing what this feeling is. I'm just trying to run from it. And so I decide, oh, maybe I need a new car. I'll get a new car. I'll get a new car. I'll get a nice new car. I'll pick out the exact car that I want. That's what I'll do. And so I did a little bit of research on the car that I wanted. And so I was ready to go to the dealership. I go to the dealership, and before I even get inside, I'm just walking inside. And this girl who identifies as a male opens the door. And I see her, and immediately in my mind, I'm thinking, she's like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I'm thinking in my head, like, one, she looks extremely young. And then I'm thinking she's confused. I don't want to deal with her. I want to deal with someone else. But then I hear something in my mind and it says, "Do you want love?" And it kind of throws me off. And I just stand there and I'm just looking at her. And she's like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I'm so thrown off by what I just heard that I'm just like, yeah, I want to test drive this car. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, I'd be happy to help you." So, nevertheless, she ends up actually helping me. So we test drive the car. And on the car ride, she's talking to me, asking me, just, I guess, general questions that they ask. What do you do? Asking me about my life and stuff like that. And she tells me a little bit about herself. And I'm like, okay, look, I want this car. I tell her everything. After we test drive, we get back to the dealership. I tell her, this is exactly what I want. I tell her all the things that I want, the color, like everything.
yeah,
And she's like, "Well, we don't have this car. We'd have to like order this car." So I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." And I'm like, I'll buy the car from you, but I'm not dealing with anybody else. Like, I don't want anybody else to come and talk to me, because I had experienced that before with salesmen, is they come and try to upsell you, or just basically, I just feel like they're all sleazy, and I didn't want to deal with that. And she's like, okay, all right, cool. So let's make an appointment. So she's kind of liking me at this point, because she's like, you're so cool. You came in here, you knew exactly what you wanted. And she's like, I'd love to hang out with you sometime. And I just kind of, brush it off. I'm like, whatever. And I'm thinking she's like my son's age. Like, what is she talking about? And so we schedule an appointment for when the car will be there and I can come pick it up. So I leave, I go home, and I'm still experiencing that like turmoil, inner turmoil, and I'm not really knowing what it is. I'm looking for things to do to distract me because I don't want to deal with what's happening inside of me. And I'm thinking, well, it'll go away once I get the car. Like, it'll be cool. So the time comes, I go to get the car, and I basically am able to buy the car just from her and nobody come and talk to me. And I get the car for the price that I want and not a penny over. And she just thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. So she's like, you are so cool. Like, I want to hang out with you. I feel like I want to learn from you. Like,
Yeah.
and you're a single mom. Like, this is so awesome. Like, I want to get to know you. Like, can I have your number? And I'm just like, this girl, it's my son's age, wants my phone number. And I hear that same thing again. Do you want love? And I'm just like, yeah, I guess, sure, you can have my number. I don't know. So I give the girl my number. I get the car, I leave, and it's cool. I love it. And I'm thinking everything's great. But still, that turmoil is still kind of there, but I'm just not really, I'm trying to look for things to distract myself. So I'm living in Lake Norman at the time. And so I'm like looking for things that I can do. I'm going kayaking one day. And so she calls me one morning. She's like, hey, I was wanting to hang out with you. What are you up to? And I'm like, well, I'm going kayaking. She's like, can I come? I'm like, sure, if you want. And so she comes. She's living in Charlotte at the time, but she drives to Lake Norman and we go kayaking. And it was really strange because it's one, like I said, she's my son's age and she's not someone that I would necessarily hang out with.
Yeah.
So it was like, I didn't know what to expect, but I'm just running from that feeling inside of me that I'm like, sure, if you want to hang out with me, like, okay, let's do it. And so we get to the lake and we get out there and it's great. I mean, we're having a great time. She's nice. Of course, she shares, that she was attracted to me and she asked me about that. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm a straight woman. I was just fine with, hanging out with you. And she's like, yeah, I still, even if you're not interested in me, like, I'd still love to hang out with you. And so I'm like, cool. So we kayak for like 2 hours on the lake. We have a really good time. And then it's over. And she's like, hey, I'm meeting some friends tonight for drinks. You should join us. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, just text me the information. And I'm not sure that I'm going to go because, like, I'm thinking these kids, they're my son's age. What am I going to look like going and hanging out with them? But I'm home by myself and I'm still going through this inner turmoil that I'm running from. So she reaches out later that night. She's like, hey, are you going to meet us? I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, I will. So I head downtown to Charlotte, to the NODA district. And it was some bar that was open down there. And at this point in my life, I guess I'll just give this little bit of backstory. I consider myself an atheist. I'm not a believer. I'm not pursuing Christ. And my reason for becoming an atheist was because I had went to school for psychology. And I only chose that because I've had a very traumatic past or upbringing. And I was looking to basically figure out what was going on with me and just kind of deal with my trauma or the trauma that I experienced. So I went to school for psychology for that purpose. And while in school for that is when I realized, oh, psychology basically explains God away. Basically, if you believe in anything and you believe it fully, it'll work for you because you believe that it did. So then in my mind, I'm like, well, then is God even real? And then that's when I came to that conclusion that he must not be real It's just if you choose to believe in it or not. And I think what led me down that road also was because I was raised in a denominational Christian household. I was baptized in Jesus' name as a child. I had received the Holy Spirit by the evidence of speaking in tongues as a child, but I had never seen anyone actually how do I say this? Really live out the life that a Christian should. I had just seen a lot of hypocrites, and most of what I experienced, the trauma that I experienced as a child, was a result of the quote unquote Christians that were raising me or that were influencing me in my life. Like they
Yeah.
did the most trauma to me. So because of that, and then you couple that with, the schooling, I was able to say, oh, well, now it makes sense. That's why none of them were actually living this holy lifestyle, because it's not really real. So I'm an atheist at this point, fast forward. And so anyway, so I meet up with this girl at this bar. I'm super nervous. I'm super uncomfortable. So as soon as I get in there, like before I even go hang out with the girl, I go to the bar and I'm like, I take a couple of shots because I'm just so completely nervous. And then I let her know I'm there. I go out, I meet her. She's excited that I'm there. She introduces me to all her friends. And they're a bunch of people that I would never, ever have associated with previously. They're all very young, living very different lifestyles. So I'm here and I'm talking to them, and I'm like really uncomfortable because I'm a mother. I've got a child this age and a younger one.
Yeah.
And my life is essentially like corporate America. I sat on the board for Head Start. I'm into health and fitness. Like my life was very different than theirs, and I had never hung around people like that. So I'm just like, what am I doing? And then the friend that invites me there comes over and she's like, oh, my friend Diamond's coming. I can't wait for you to meet my friend Diamond. And then in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh. And now she's going to introduce me to a stripper friend. So I'm just thinking, because of all the people that were there, I'm like, of course she has a friend that's a stripper, because I'm certainly not thinking the name Diamond is a man, like a man's name. And I'm just, I feel like strippers have those treasure, like star, precious, I feel like those are those kinds of names from my past experiences, right? So she's like, yeah, he's here. Actually, he's here he's here right now. And I'm like, he? And she's like, yeah, he's right there. And I look across the street and I see at the time, I didn't know it was you, but I see this man walking across the street with long dreads, this tie-dye shirt, these cut-off jean shorts, and like this backpack. And you're just walking across the street with the biggest smile on your face. And I'm like, it's a guy? What? So then I'm just like, oh, goodness gracious, what is this? And then this guy's telling her his name's Diamond. This ain't even his real name. She don't even know. I'm thinking this in my mind.
Yeah. And I guess I should give a little bit of backstory too, up until this point.
Okay.
Because, so beginning of 2020, right, as soon as 2020 came in, when COVID hit, I lost my job.
Mm-hmm.
I just got out of a relationship that I was in. I had just came home from doing 5 years in prison. And like, almost when you were just talking about your backstory, I was thinking like, God just kind of set the ground.
Yes.
It's like he just tilled up the ground in both our lives before we
Mm-hmm.
met each other. Because it's like, I was very much in a low place in my life, because just came home from prison, just got out of a relationship, like I just lost my job, and then the pandemic hit. So in my mind, the world was
over. It's
over.
coming to an end.
Yeah, it was over. So I had started partying, drinking, doing drugs, smoking, doing all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually how I ended up meeting that girl, because I met her during the protests. I think it was like the Floyd protest.
The Black Lives Matter
the
thing.
Black Lives Matter protest,
Mm-hmm.
when the police killed the boy or whatever. So I had just met Jamie maybe 2 or 3 weeks before you met her. And so she invited me out to Noda and
At the same
at the
time.
same time. So that's kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so then he comes over and she introduces us to each other, and then he just turns, she like walks away to go get a drink or something, and Diamond just turns to me and he's like, "Hey, what's your number?" And I just rattle off my phone number, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?"
I couldn't believe it. And the only reason why I did it was because the day before I met you, I had just ran my car into a tree. So my lip was like swollen.
And I didn't even see
And
it.
I was so insecure about my lip being so big and swollen that I was just like, "What's your number?" Like I've never done that to a woman before in my life. But out of my insecurity that you were looking at my lip, I was like, I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah. And I didn't even notice your
And
lip.
then you gave me your number, and I'm like, oh, this actually worked.
Yeah. I didn't notice your lip though. Probably because it was dark and I had
Yeah.
had a couple drinks, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I just gave this person my number. What am I doing? Okay, I got to get out of here. So after you ask me for my number, I'm like, okay, quickly, I need to go to the bar and I get another drink because I'm so uncomfortable. Then I come back and she's there and she's like, "Oh, Shanae, my friend Diamond, like this place is closing in a little bit, but he has some friends and they're throwing a house party right now. I Ubered up here. Is it cool if I ride with you to the house party?" And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because like I was literally going to tell her like, "Hey, I got to get out of here." And I was going to leave. So I'm like, I guess, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I show up at this house party with all these people that I don't know, and they're all way younger than me, and I'm so uncomfortable. But they're friendly, they're cool. They're like, "Come outside, we're playing cards, we're playing Jenga." And I'm just like really uncomfortable because a lot of them, like a few of the women there considered themselves as, and they were like hitting on me big time. And I'm like so uncomfortable. I have one on my right, one on my left, and then the girl that brought me there in front of me. And I'm just like, I got to get out of here. Like, I can't deal with this. Like, I'm just not used to that. And I don't see you anywhere. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in I'm going to say I have to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, I have to go to the restroom. I'll be back. So I go in the house. No one's in the house. I go in the restroom, go to the bathroom, wash my hands. I peek out the door. No one's there in the house. So then I make a beeline for the front door. Open up the front door and I bump straight into you.
And I'm like, where are you going? Like, because you came out, you didn't bump into me, you fell into me. Like, you were staggering. You were so drunk. You were so drunk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not about to leave, right? Like, you can't drive like this. There's no way you can drive like this.
And I'm like, no, I'm just grabbing something out of my car. Like, I'm not driving. I'm just grabbing something out of my car.
Yeah, and I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't ask any more questions.
Yeah. So I get to the car. You kind of stand there for a minute, and I get to the car, and I'm just kind of leaning in, and then I see you go in the house, and I jump in the car, turn it on, and I just leave. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get home. Like, I got to get out of here. And that was a very irresponsible thing to do. It was not wise, but I am so grateful that the Holy Spirit was watching over me and allowed me to get home safely that night, because we were in Charlotte and I lived in Lake Norman, which was like 40-minute drive.
Yeah, because we was deep in Charlotte.
Yeah, it was like 40 minutes to get home, 45 minutes to get home.
And I was terrified when I realized that you left. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I let this girl leave. Because I knew I was the last person that seen you.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I'm like, dang, I let this girl leave. And she could barely even walk out the door. So I just started calling you. Like, I just kept calling you.
And I'm in the car hitting ignore.
Oh
and Jamie was calling too. It was like, you two. Literally,
yeah, because you was sending
it
straight to voicemail. We didn't know, like, if something happened to you or, I mean, we didn't know what happened.
No, I'm just on 77, headed north with the windows all the way down and music blaring, trying to stay awake. So it's funny now, but I mean, really, it was really dangerous. And I mean, that was a really bad choice on my part, but I'm so thankful that he protected me and I was able to get home safely. And so I get home and like, I'm thinking like, do these people ever sleep? Cause like you guys were calling me all night long till the morning. And then finally, when I got up in the morning, I was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta call them back. Like, I just felt so bad. But I'm like, I only have to call her back. Like, I don't know him from anywhere. So I called her, Jamie, and she's like, oh my goodness, Shanae, we thought something happened to you. We didn't know if you got pulled over, if you were in an accident. Like, oh my gosh, you gotta call Diamond. Like, he was so worried, like, because he felt like it was his fault because he saw you last. And I'm like, okay, I'll call him. And I'm like dreading it. So I call you and you're like, oh, I'm so thankful. Basically, like you were just telling me you were happy and that I was safe. And then you're like, hey, can I take you out to dinner? And I'm like, no, I'm headed out of town. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, when do you get back? And I'm like, 2 or 3 weeks. Because at this point, because it was the pandemic, tickets were so cheap. Like I could get a $35 one-way flight to Colorado, which is where my mom lives. And I was going there and staying there with her for 2 to 3 weeks, then coming home for 2 to 3 weeks. So I had been going back and forth. And I would leave my youngest son there with her, like sometimes when I would go. And so he was there at this particular time. So I'm like, no, I'm headed to Colorado. I won't be back for like 2 or 3 weeks. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, how about when you get back? What day do you get back? And I'm like, well, when I get back, I'm headed off to Vegas for a friend's 40th. Like, I'm gonna be gone for like a month.
Just
And you're like,
dodging me.
yeah, because I'm thinking to myself, like, no, like you're way younger than me. I'm 37, you're 26. And like our lives are so completely different. Like I'm thinking I'm never talking to these people again. I made a horrible mistake. Like I can't believe I did that. And you're just like persistent. And you're like, well, what day do you get back? And I'm thinking like, he's going to forget. Like it's so far out. So I tell you when I get back and I completely forget. I forget about everything. And then the day before I'm supposed to come back, you text me and you're like, hey, so are you still open to go out to dinner tomorrow night?
And the only reason I remember it because that was the first time I used my calendar app on my phone. Yeah.
That's funny. And so I'm like, I can remember because I'm at my mom's house and I tell my mom the story and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, he remembered. And she just started laughing. She's like, well, now I guess you're going to have to do it. And I'm just like, well, okay, well, let me see if where he's going to try to take me. Cause like, I'm not just going anywhere. And at this point I wasn't eating meat and I was eating like predominantly like vegetarian, I would say for the most part. So I'm like, okay, where's he going to choose? Let's see what he comes up with. And so that was going to be, I was just waiting for you to give me an excuse so I could be like, no.
And you didn't even know I wasn't eating meat either.
I sure didn't know that. I didn't know anything that I later learned about you that was compatible with me. Then I never would have guessed it. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, where, when and where? So then we're like hanging out and I'm not really knowing what this is. I just know that I like to be with you. It feels great. You're nice. You're kind. I felt like you actually saw me. And not me by my outward appearance, but just like me, the me inside. The me that I felt like I always wanted someone to see, but no one ever seemed to see. I felt like you saw and you still were reaching for me. And so it was drawing me to you. And then I'm just like puzzled because I'm like, nothing about this man makes sense. His name don't make sense. The people he hangs out with doesn't make sense. What he looks like versus his character and what I'm observing in him doesn't make sense.